Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Good to see you all. Got a video for you today. We're going to talk about hand sanitizer and its usage during this last couple of years against the Mexican beer illness. From the early reporting, we were seeing that it was on all the surfaces. Some people say it's GM owed. Some people say it's natural. I have to talk this way so I don't get deleted again. So some people say it doesn't exist, right? These are the three major propaganda streams so far as far as I can see. And so apparently it's on all of these surfaces, and we're being influenced to use hand sanitizer, right? And when we examine the hand sanitizer, it'll say that, eliminates up to 99% germs, right? And they kind of do this in a certain way that is, it promotes, I guess, what you could call like a falsity, because we're not used to thinking in the terms that they're actually trying to convey to us. And an example would be, in the microscopic realm of existence, microorganisms, there could be billions of microorganisms in a relatively small surface area. And so say there's 100 billion of these microorganisms, or so-called germs, or what have you, and you're using this hand sanitizer or cleaning product that says, it eliminates up to 99%. So if you have 100 billion microorganisms or bacteria or germs or what have you, and you're removing 99 billion of them, you're still left with 1 billion, right? And that's a rather large number. So because of the difference in scale of existences, right, we're so-called, where we live is the macro universe, even though that's, highly debatable. Everything is solid to us. And yet on these microscopic levels of existences, we see, they have almost a completely independent existence to ours, and yet we inhabit the same space, right? So this is another subtlety that we go over in my yoga classes. So everybody wants us to use this hand sanitizer. You see it's everywhere in all the businesses. Some people say it's GM owed, the Mexican beer illness. Some people say it doesn't exist. Some people say it's natural. But that's the reasoning as to why we want to use the hand sanitizer, because it's on all of these surfaces. But what they don't tell you, or what they actually don't want you to know, is that for a very long time we've used medicinal tinctures as a transportation method to get components, in this case a medicinal tincture, medicinal components from point A to point B, being from the bottle into our bloodstream, into our body. And these tinctures are all alcohol based, because alcohol is actually great at extracting, anything, not just medicinal, but it can extract anything and then transport it into our bodies. So we have to really ask ourselves, are these advertising agencies, are these petrochemical industries advertising hand sanitizer, mandating hand sanitizer in some cases, are they doing it for our benefit? And if they're not, then why? What's the reasoning? Well, I'm using, again, the ancient yogic siddhis and the scientific wisdom of the ancient yogis to explain why they're putting this emphasis on hand sanitizer. Okay, so again, the medicinal tinctures are alcohol based, and they take substances from point A to point B, from the bottle or wherever, what have you, into our body. Because when we use a sublingual tincture, the alcohol opens up the pores, it opens up the layers of the body that the body uses to protect itself from foreign substances. So the alcohol kind of injects those substances, and in this case, the medicinal substances, into our bloodstream. So why are all these advertising agencies and big corporations and statist institutions insisting that we use this hand sanitizer, which we all know facilitates actually the transportation of things into the body? Again, some people say it's GMO'd. Some people say it's natural. Some people say it doesn't exist. In either case, or in every case, we're still using the hand sanitizer, and we're being influenced to use the hand sanitizer, even though I just went over the difference in the levels of existences in the millions and billions and trillions, and how that actually works out, right? Because when we're conducting these experiments with these, so-called cleaning solutions, there's a patchy network, right? And so the 99% that you're removing, it's the remaining 1%, or in this case, the remaining 1 billion organisms, germs or microorganisms, are left in a patchwork formation. And because of that patchwork formation, they essentially grow, just like a fungal colony. They'll grow together again after losing portions of their body or what have you. So this is what's occurring on these microscopic levels of existence, and especially when we're using these cleaning products. Okay, so what would be, now I have an experiment to conduct, what would be a more effective method of eliminating so-called germs or bacterias or Mexican beer illness particles? What would be better to use than alcohol if we were concerned about transporting those items into our bloodstream? Okay, so when we type in to the crystal ball of the internet, you could say, for instance, natural herbs. Okay, so what herbs? What herbs do we want? Okay, so what does the hand sanitizer do? Well, one of the things it says is antibacterial. Okay, another thing that it says is anti-V space viral. Okay, so we type those two terms into the crystal ball, and we put in natural herbs, and those, the list will be populated with all these various herbs. And so what do we do from there? How do we get those herbs to a concentrate form that we can then use without alcohol? All you need is really water. And then if you like the, spraying or the hand sanitizer-ness of that whole gimmick, you could put in a spray bottle or something like that. And these things will work because of how they work. The scent molecules function much differently than the actual micro droplet size, from these spray bottle heads. So it's just something to think about. I gave you guys some alternatives if you are worried about things. So I hope everybody can follow along on this video today. Thank you again for your time. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.